So I didn't start boxing until I was 20 years old, which is late. So I got into boxing. I wrestled throughout school. 8 years. I was a captain all 4 years in high school. I was a wrestler throughout school. And so I was always into the competitive one-on-one sports. And so after high school, I wanted to do something competitive because I was getting out of shape. So I started boxing in a local gym. My cousin was he was boxing in Willimantic, and I said, I'd love to come down and try it out and, stay in shape.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, got a real treat as always. This time we've got Tony TNT Grano. Is it Grano?
Yes, Grano.
Grano. Tony TNT Grano, world champion, NABF, fifth in the world with WBC, boxer, fighter, prize fighter. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
So he's now also an inventor. So I got to know him a little bit, and I said, dude, let's get you on Dropping Bombs and talk inventions, talk business.
Yeah, sure.
So let's go back a little bit. Where were you as a youngster?
Grew up in Newington, Connecticut. My parents hardworking. My mom was a nurse, and raising 5 kids. I'm one of 5. I have 3 younger brothers, an older sister, and my dad owned a video store and electronics store when we were growing up.
If you fought all your brothers, would you win them all?
Yes.
Do they know this?
Yes.
So they didn't get into boxing?
No, they didn't get into boxing, but I didn't get into boxing until later on, way later.
What made you get into boxing?
I kind of fell into it, actually.
How?
So growing up as a kid, I had a learning disability, dyslexia, so I got bullied and picked on quite a bit when I was younger until I was taught how to defend myself and not take shit from anyone, stand up for myself. And, so the bullying tended to stop, but I was always the new kid in a new school because I traveled a lot. I went to different schools to get the best education. And then, so I had to always prove myself, So and then also I went to class with kids that were less fortunate than me. And I hate bullies. So I didn't stand for it. So I got in fights even defending other people,
Well, that's a noble though, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what, and when if there was an issue or something, and I give them the benefit of the doubt and let them know it was going to happen, and if they didn't, adhere to it, then they got their heads kicked. And lots of times I wouldn't even get in trouble with the school because, they knew I was defending myself. Is
it usually just a one pop and it's done, or are you one of those that'll just pummel you into the ground over and over and over?
Back then it was pummel you into the ground, but now, I've only been in 2 street fights since high school and since becoming a boxer, and they were one and done. One and done.
If someone was out there thinking, I want to learn one skill to protect myself if anything went down, what would you tell them?
I'd teach them how to make a fist the proper way and how to
is it boxing?
Out. Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily boxing if you're just going to crack somebody and hope that you knock them out and so you can get out of there,
Well, isn't that the goal with everybody?
Yeah, you want to get out of the situation, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I hit you, dude, I'm hoping to knock you out.
But listen, if you don't, you got to keep hitting them until they don't get up. Because guess what? People are dirty and it's a dangerous world.
Well, that's why I like to say I hit 3 ways.
Yeah.
Fast, hard, and consecutively.
That's right. That's right.
I've never lost a fight because I haven't been in that many. And because anytime I had to fight, I was so fucking amped up.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't feel or see anything. It was just blah. But fortunately, I didn't run into any freaking pro boxers or something.
Right.
I've been lucky. But I try to avoid fights if I can. I don't think you win when you fight.
So do I. I tried 99, all of the fights I've ever had to get into, I've tried to talk my way out of them. And as I got older and more confident in my ability to kick ass, I was able to do that. I was able to talk my way out of them because, like I said, give them the benefit of the doubt. In my 20s, I'd be at the club or something, and I was maybe an amateur boxer. I was a 5-time Golden Glove champion, it's in the amateurs, and a 5-time state champion. So, and in only 5 years of boxing in the amateurs. So what I've accomplished as an amateur, they say, is unheard of, But and then I won the USA Nationals. It ranked me the #1 heavyweight in the United States of America.
Well, why don't you go fight Tyson Fury?
Tyson
You kind of
Fury?
look like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I get that a lot. And I am a heavyweight. And if I've been out from an injury, I was out from an injury for a while. I was ranked 5th in the world, in line for a world title shot. And I had a fight. I was scheduled to fight Tomas Adamek. 2 weeks before that fight, I got injured. I herniated a disc in my neck, and I had to have a spinal fusion. So I had to cancel the fight. I was being promoted by Don King at the time. I was ranked 5th in the world. Don was my promoter. And, 2 weeks before the fight, actually a month before the fight, I had a sparring session. I thought I had a tight muscle hitting a nerve or something. And so I kept getting a shooting numbness go through my whole body. Anytime my head got snapped back, in the slightest. So sparring, training, it just kept happening. And I was like, something's not right. It wasn't painful, but it was a scary feeling.
Yeah.
Like lights out, like through your whole body. So I'm like, I'm doing a 10-round sparring session 2 weeks before the fight. And, it happened 3 or 4 times in the sparring session. So I'm like, I'm out of here. I got to go get an MRI. And luckily I had the common sense to do that, because I went there and they're like, oh, you can't fight. You have a herniated disc is pressed on your spinal cord. You're lucky you're not paraplegic.
Wow. Did you get
paralyzed from the neck down? They said, if you leave here and get an fender bender, you might never walk again. So you have to cancel the fight and get a neck surgery. And I was like, it's not going to, is my career over, And they said, well, we'll see. After 8 months, we should be able to tell if you can fight again, and we'll go from there. So I had to call Don, cancel the fight, show proof that I was actually injured. The fight was canceled.
Why'd you have to show proof?
Well, because there was a lot of money spent on advertising and promoting the fight. And, if you're actually injured, they need, to see that you're actually injured.
So you don't owe it back?
Yeah, well, not so much that you owe it back.
So
just
they make sure you're not pussing out?
Yeah, you don't want to be looked at like you're, dodging whoever you're calling out. But anyways.
Fighters don't dodge each other, do they?
No way. No, I don't. So, and, before I actually signed with Don, to get back to your, you were talking about Tyson Fury. I had asked if I would fight Tyson, and this was right after Tyson originally retired, and I was just coming up in the
Mike
pros.
Tyson?
Yeah, Don, before I had signed with him, called me and said, "Hey, would you be willing to fight, Mike Tyson?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, of course I'd be." I mean, you're gonna get paid no matter what, So I was
But my man Mike, dude, I probably would have put my money on him.
Well, I was confident that I would beat him. Yeah, well. So
was a lot of other people.
Yeah, and so were a lot.
Dude.
But that's the
Mike.
mentality
If you ask me,
have.
Mike Tyson's the best of all time, including Muhammad Ali.
He is a knockout artist.
Dude, if you go watch his highlight reels, dude, he was a beast.
He was
nasty, and you
Absolutely.
did not want to mess with him. And by the way, he used to be able to take punches too.
Sure,
but I think eventually.
But that's every mentality a fighter has to have.
When I hung out with him for a little while, a couple of days, I got to hang with Mike and big old posse of people. His fists, dude, were huge.
Yeah.
I'm talking about huge.
Sure.
That dude's huge. Like that fist is like a freaking brick hitting you in the head.
I've met him, yeah. Him and
you would have fought him?
Yeah.
Dude, don't you worry about your ribs breaking?
Yeah, it's not fun when you
How does a body
sure.
blow feel?
Body blows are probably the worst. I'd much rather get knocked out in the head, and not that I've ever been knocked out, but with a head shot than a body shot. Body shots, they're painful.
A good body shot.
A good body shot is a painful body shot, especially if it's in the ribs or kidney.
Did you watch Ryan? What's his name?
Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
see
did
him
see that.
kind of drop with the body shot?
Yep. I think he probably could have gone up, but he knew. You know.
Old Tank was destroying him.
You get caught with that shot. I mean, the same thing with De La Hoya. When De La Hoya took it from Bernard Hopkins, that body shot, and you saw, Oscar on the ground, hitting the ground, punching the ground, because he wanted to get up, but his legs, his body just wouldn't do it. His brain was telling his body to get up, and it just wasn't reacting. That's why he was punching the mat.
How much time do you put in for a fight?
Months. I mean, it's it's your life.
Is it all cardio based?
Not necessarily, but you want to train sports specific. So if I'd like, so for instance, if I'm fighting a southpaw, a left-handed fighter, and he's 6'6", I don't want to be sparring against a 6'1" guy that's a right-handed fighter. You know what I mean? You need to have, and if he's a boxer, you want to be fighting boxers, not brawlers. If he's a brawler, then you want to get similar sparring partners. A boxer is a guy that's going to hit and move, use his jab, stick and move around the ring. A brawler, a toe-to-toe guy is going to get in there and he's going to bring it to you. You know? He's going to.
I don't see the point in it. That's why I stay out the ring.
Yeah, it's a sport.
But then you have to be, okay with dudes calling you a puss. Like, dude, you're a puss.
Well, listen, when you're confident in your ability, it doesn't matter what someone calls you.
And it's not only that, but like, I'm not just because someone says I am.
Right.
But if someone said, Brad, you would avoid a fight if you could? Yes.
Of course.
I don't care if they're bigger or smaller either. It ain't like, hey, I know I can kick his ass. I'd still avoid it.
Absolutely. That's my point. And that's exactly my point. So
I knew a guy once that freaking popped this dude that had it coming. I mean, the whole night the dude was being a dick. So this dude walked up, protected the girl, and, it was Mr. Macho, and fucking pop, knocked him in the mouth, and it was all over, and his hand was broken.
Sure.
So he was a hero with a broken hand.
Right.
And I'm like, see, I wasn't the hero, but I didn't have a broken hand. Now someone said, oh, you're a puss. You should have defended her. Why? He did. I don't need to do that shit. Now, again, if I had to, I would. So that means I'm not a puss. I'm smart.
Sure.
Because, again, come up and start swinging on me, I'm going to have to do something to defend myself. Better just hope you're a damn good boxer and I ain't got my weapon on me.
Right. Well,
because no boxer in the world can stop a 9mm bullet to the sternum.
That's true. That's true. But listen, like I said, it's really rare that you're going to run into someone that's a trained fighter.
It's bullying.
That's looking for a problem.
That's what you usually see. That's what you usually see is when they're real fighters and they know how to fight, they're not fighting. They're fighting in the ring.
No, like I said, I used to go to the club and say someone bumps me or they're giving me the eye. They think I'm checking out their girl or whatever. Maybe I was checking out the girl, but how do I know she's with you? And if
except maybe Nate Diaz and Nick.
There's been plenty of times that I've said, listen, I don't know if I've done anything to disrespect you or offend you, but if I did, I'm apologizing. I'm here to have a good time. I'm not here looking for trouble, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If you do have a problem, we can go outside like men and we can go toe to toe. But I'm going to tell you right now that after I knock you the fuck out, I'm taking all the money out of your pocket because I don't do it for free. I get paid to do this shit. So
would you do that?
I said,
would you do that?
I said, so we can either go to the bar and you can buy me a drink, or we can go outside and settle it. And every single time they said, "Oh shit, you're a fighter. Let's go get a drink." And that was that.
But you wouldn't take their money, would you? Because that's called fucking assault and burglary. That's something. You can't just take their dough. Although you see it in videos when people get knocked out, people are out checking their pockets and grabbing their jewelry.
Well, no, I tell them ahead of time. I'd say.
That's funny. So
but I've never had to do it. So.
But you're not boxing anymore.
Now you're a businessman. So listen, I was injured and I had to cancel the fight. 8 months later, I got fully cleared to go back to boxing, and I was getting blackballed by the commission. The commission wouldn't clear me.
Why? They
didn't want to be liable or whatever because of the neck injury. So I had 3 specialists, my surgeon and 3 specialists, give me the green light. They said you're not at any greater risk than anybody else, and that's what I wanted to hear from them. That because when you herniate something and you break something, it usually heals stronger than it was. And they just wanted to make sure I didn't have any, range of motion, loss of range of motion or anything like that, which I didn't. And so I got fully cleared because I wouldn't risk. If I never was able to hold my daughter again, I'd rather be dead. So it wasn't worth my legs or being paralyzed, obviously. So and it's funny because I had friends saying, "Oh, why'd you cancel the fight? You should have just fought anyway." And then if it bothered you, take a knee and just no, motherfucker, I don't quit. If I'm in there, I'm going until I can't go anymore.
What if I see some fighters with broken hands keep punching?
Keep fighting. You're not going to quit
with a broken hand.
Well, if you're not going to quit on the stool,
I would.
It depends. It
No,
really depends.
I would. Like, I break my hand, I want to be like, you win. You win. Why? Because I ain't hitting with this anymore.
Well, then you're not confident that you're not confident that you can beat him with one hand.
You break your hand.
If you're not confident that you can beat him with one hand, then sure.
Well, again, dude, I'm not punching with this hand.
Yeah.
So I think
it depends on which hand, I guess, right? And how many more rounds you have. But
there are people though that are tough as nails, and they just keep fighting.
Sure, because that's what makes them great.
All right, so but you're not boxing every day. You're not in a camp right now.
No. So anyway, I was injured. I had to get my lawyers involved to get me fully cleared to fight again because of the commission. So I had another neurologist have to come through and stuff. But unfortunately, my lawyer that was getting me cleared, he ended up ODing and passing away. So we had to get one of his colleagues to take over the case, and he took it over and then eventually got me cleared. But at that point, a few years had gone by now, with the recovery and then all that. And then unfortunately I had built up a dependency on opiates. So I had to get clean off that. So I got fully clean off that. Then I eventually.
See, that's a feat right there. A lot of people, once they're on those, it's over.
Yeah, again, it wasn't worth losing my daughter. So, and so I got fully clean, which is years ago now. And then I got fully cleared to fight again. So then I moved out to Jersey City with my original investor, Mike Scalise, who, God rest his soul, he passed away right after COVID hit. He was in the merchants cash advance credit card processing like you're doing now with Real Merchants.
That's right. Real Merchant Services, folks.
Big
if you're
money.
overpaying for your credit card, go to Real Merchant Services.
Yeah, that's right. Big money in that. And he was my main investor. And unfortunately, he had a bad drinking problem. So
we hooked up this company the other day that, heard me on the, one of these or something.
Yeah.
And said, well, I got the best rates ever and the best rates ever. And I said, well, listen, go to realmerchantservices.com and just let my team check. It takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We saved him $580,000 a year.
Holy shit.
In credit card fees.
Wow. Yeah.
$580,000.
Some of these people are getting
people don't realize how Wild
hosed.
West that industry is. Like, dude, I guarantee you, if you have a merchant account, you're more than likely overpaying. You're getting fees that you shouldn't even be getting. They're whacking you. Now, again, if you have if you want to take 2 minutes and check, go to realmerchantservices.com.
A little plug for Brad.
Let my
the
team,
real Brad Lee.
Yeah, let my team show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Anybody from this episode, we'll just freaking make you like the affiliate.
There you go.
Because we got an affiliate program too. I'm looking for referral agents. Why don't you be a referral agent?
Sure.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
You just refer people to me.
Exactly.
We close it. We do everything, and you get paid for life.
You got it.
And I'm telling you right now, man, that merchant services space pays every month, all month, because people continue to use credit cards, and the recurring revenue can be sold. So like I know someone that freaking did it, 2-3 years, only was making $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
Guess what he sold the $30,000 a month for?
It's probably times 20.
$1.5 million.
Yeah.
So he got $30,000 a month for a long time, and then someone bought it for $1.5 million. When they asked me, I said, "Ooh, dude, $1.5 million. That sounds a little low.
They're selling
I'd
residuals.
rather have 30 G's a month."
Yeah, they're selling the residuals, and my buddy, unfortunately, he used to do that a lot. And so I was out there training. So I moved out to Jersey City. I was training full time with Andre Rozier, who owns Havoc Boxing. He was one of my trainers for many years. He trains Danny Jacobs. He trains, I think he has like 5 world champions he's trained. But great trainer. Moved out to Jersey. He was training full time in Brooklyn. Scheduled to fight April 2020. Fucking COVID hits.
Did you ever collect money for thugs and mobs and?
No, but I've been asked. And I just told you I just played in a movie.
You look like one of those that show up and be like, "Hey, you owe Tony $500."
Yeah,
I ain't got it. Boom, you owe Tony $500.
How about now? You got it now,
dude. So. But you're not boxing anymore is the point. Now you're a businessman. You got inventions. You're putting together deals. You got movie deals. You got all kinds of shit going on. Now you're an entrepreneur now.
Yes, sir. Always
you might end up boxing again.
Yeah.
But right now you're an entrepreneur. You got deals working.
Yeah.
Movie deals.
Yeah.
What else? Inventions. And then, well, again, a couple of online training things, but people don't get to know about that.
Well, that's what that's what we're not going to talk about necessarily right here. You signed an NDA, but I do want to maybe do a video course with you here with Lightspeed, an interactive course, and then maybe we can move into the other stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea. It's a good concept. So tell me about the movie thing.
The movie thing. Well, I just did a little short, couple little parts in a movie that's going straight to Tubi for a friend. But I got my man Boyd Melson here, and he's good friends and partners with Sean Showtime Porter, who you've had on here.
Sure,
yeah,
couple times.
A couple times. Yep, and I'd let Boyd talk about it with you if you want. But they have a movie that Round One is the name of it, I believe, and they have a whole pitch deck, and they have some incredible actors that they're looking at bringing on for the project.
What are you guys looking for? Like basically funding? Yeah. So guys, if you're in the distribution as well. Yeah, they got distribution. It's going to be a killer movie. Everybody. Sure. I mean, it's already a lock solid deal. But if you're interested in backing movies or you want to be involved, shoot him a DM that just says movie, and then hook him up.
Sure.
Because again, maybe you want to invest in the movie. Who knows what you want to do? Maybe you want to be in the movie. All I want the Bomb Squad to do is to blow his ass up with DMs about the movie, and then also about what was the other one? What else are you doing right now?
Well, I have an invention that I've been working on for a while, actually, and then unfortunately, because of the injury, it put me out for a while. You know, it put me in a bad spot, especially with the opiate dependency I had for a period of time, not working, and then thinking I'm getting back in the boxing, training full time, getting ready to promote my own fight at Mohegan Sun, you know, and then COVID hit. And like I said, I was scheduled to fight April 2020. That hit. That was another big kick in the nuts. You know, and when I got injured and I had to cancel that fight, that was literally like flushing $100,000 down the toilet and a guaranteed $1 million for the next fight.
Damn.
So, you know, so it's, you know, it's been a bumpy road the last few years, but things have been good. God's on my side, and I'm healthy, and that's all that matters. And like it all comes back to, like you say, Brad, and you preach. It's about your perspective. Yeah. Well,
with the snow off the top.
Oh yeah, I have a great. It's called the Snow KO. I originally named it the Avalanche 360, but it's a snow removal product, and it removes. You can have up to 2 feet of snow on your car, truck, or van. It will remove the snow off your entire vehicle with 2 people less than 30 seconds, with 1 person less than a minute.
Amazing.
Up to 2 feet of snow off your whole entire vehicle.
See, why don't you get that going?
So I have the full utility patent, good for 20 years. So I've probably invested over $40,000 into the patents and all the
Dude, if the shit
trademarks.
works, dude, there's a market for that one.
Sure. Dealerships would love it because I have friends that own dealerships, and they have, say, 300-400 cars in their lot.
Well, how does it work? If you
And I
got
asked,
the patent, you can talk about
I
it.
can show the video to you.
Well, I mean, you can't show it on here.
Yeah, I can't show it on here, but you can go to
Explain it.
It's a sheet of like windbreaker material, right? It's about 2 feet wide, about 8-9 feet long, depending on the vehicle. Has a bungee cord going to the bottom and the top long ways. Has 2 handles on both sides and 2 bungees and 2 hooks. So you put one end for 2 people. You just each grab one side and just walk the length of the car, and takes all the snow off. It all gathers in the sheet, and it like slingshots it right off because of the bungee cords. It's not heavy. It's not hard to pull off.
How'd you discover this?
I invented it.
I know, but why? Because you live somewhere where there's snow all the time?
Yeah, in Connecticut. But I have a creative inventor's mind, so I always think about things, how we can make them better, how you can make some life easier, right? So to be honest with you, I was the first person to ever invent a CO2 plunger when I was out of high school. Yeah, I was out of high school. I got into the plumbers union. My dad, I wanted to be an actor, so I grew up with movies, right? And I wanted to be an actor. And unfortunately, my dad talked me out of it. He's, you got to get a trade, something to fall back on. Got to get a job. So I went and became a plumber in the union. And I was doing that. And that's when I discovered boxing. So I didn't start boxing until I was 20 years old, which is late. So I got into boxing. I wrestled throughout school. 8 years. I was the captain all 4 years in high school. I was a wrestler throughout school. And so I was always into the competitive one-on-one sports. And so after high school, I wanted to do something competitive because I was getting out of shape. So I started boxing in a local gym. My cousin he was boxing in Willimantic. And I said, I'd love to come down and try it out and, stay in shape. So I went down there, started working out, and they're like, you have a lot of natural talent. You should compete. So I was like, all right. So I started training to compete. So I was working 10-hour days. At that time, I was building Mohegan Sun from the ground up as a plumber there with Local 777. And so during lunch, so now I'm amateur boxing and training. And so during lunch, we're building the 10,000-seat arena, right? We have a dirt floor. So during lunch, we'd be playing horseshoes or whatever, So now during lunch, I'm shadow boxing. And I got all my foremen and coworkers. What are you doing? I'm like, watch. Someday I'll be fighting here in this arena. Yeah, right. Get back to work. So 5 Golden Glove championships later, I become the number 1 in the United States on the U.S. Elite team. I had my uncle, who's a big wig in Wall Street. He was a CEO of UBS, Payne & Weber, and he produced Jersey Boys to play. So he came to me and he's like, we'd love to see if we can have someone from the family go to make the Olympics. So they're like, well, we'll pay you to train full time. Wait, I don't have to go to work at 5 a.m. tomorrow? You're going to pay me to work out? Fuck yeah, let's do it,
Nice.
So I started training full time as an amateur. And that's when I made the U.S. Elite team, and I was getting a stipend from the government. But I made the team in 2005. So I was gonna go. If I was gonna go, I was the number 1 on the team for the 2008 Olympics. But so I'm 25 at the time. I'm going, shit, do I want to stick around for 3 more years to possibly go to the Olympics, or do I want to make this a career and turn pro now, and hopefully in 3 years be fighting for a world title? So I weighed out if I was to regret
Were you knocking
anything,
everybody out? Was everybody telling you to do that route?
It was a coin toss. Do I stick around for 3 more years, risk getting injured, not making the team, getting beat out, whatever, or do I start going after a world title,
right,
as a pro? So, and I wasn't getting the stipend, wasn't that much. Well,
let's get back to the Inventions, only because if people are listening, they're probably not promoters. I probably don't have Don King listening that's going to turn you into a Mike Tyson.
Okay,
but I do have listeners that are being like, I'll back that freaking invention, or hey, I live in Minnesota where that would be huge. So what if somebody wants to hear more or see more of these inventions?
So there's a couple of videos, little like infomercial videos on YouTube under Tony Grano. You can just type that in, you'll see a bunch of my highlight reels, my boxing, my fights. But
or just go to @TNT Grano Boxing, GRANO, Grano Boxing, and DM you.
Yeah, DM me there, and I can send you over the videos or whatever. But basically, like I said, you can clear off up to 2 feet of snow off of any vehicle in less than 30 seconds. That's with 2
crazy.
People.
What's another one?
With another one, well,
jump rope.
That's already out there. Not going to talk about that.
Oh, all right. What's another one?
But that's a crazy one. So another one that I did that I was trying to get patented.
See, you don't want to talk about his good ones. You don't want no one stealing it.
They need to be protected,
See, and right there, folks. There's your lesson right there.
Don't
be stupid. Don't be eager. Do it right.
So
protect things.
I've had a lot of great inventions that I wasn't able to pull the trigger and the investment to go out and protect it. And next thing you know, they're out. So I talked to this solar panel company, right? So I'm like, this is 15 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to invent a solar cell phone charger, right? A little solar panel, put it in the sun, charge your phone. So I call up this solar company and I ask them if I can get a little solar panel, custom solar panel, this and that. I asked them. And so they sent it to me. They asked me a couple questions, why I needed it, whatever. I didn't tell them what it was for. But I told them, I told them it was to charge a remote control car battery.
You didn't want to tell them.
I think, but it was for a cell phone charger, a solar cell phone charger. So I got the solar panel. I wired it up soldered it to the right adapter, plugged in my phone, put it in the sun, boom. Not even 2 hours later, my phone's fully charged. I said, holy shit. Now this is an invention. I got to get a patent on this. Didn't do anything, didn't have the money. Nobody wanted to invest in it. It's hard to tell people. They're fucking everywhere.
I've never seen one.
They're everywhere. And guess what? The first company first company that came out, oh yeah, I've seen them all over the place.
I've never seen a solar charger.
Sure, they have them.
I'll be damned.
They have them. But anyway, and the company that came out with it was the one that I called to give me the custom solar panel for the...
Oh, see? Yeah. That's dirty.
Yeah.
Well, listen, folks, don't steal his ideas. Reach out to him, share him with him, contact him at TNT Grano Boxing. What's one last thing you'd tell the Bomb Squad?
Never start a fight, always finish it, and treat others how you want to be treated.
That's a good one. Folks, as always, till next time, keep it real.
If you want to change what you're getting, you got to change what you're doing. If you want to change what you're doing, you got to change what you believe. And that's the truth. The only way to change what you're doing is to change what you believe. Anybody disagree with that? So how do we change what we believe? There's only one way to do it.